If you've left the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, I want to talk to you for a minute. And before some of my fellow members start typing in the comments, I want you to listen too, because some of this is going to be directed at us. There are a lot of conversations between people who have left this church and people who have stayed. And far too often, those conversations turn into arguments about who was right, who was wrong, who was deceived, who was offended, who knows the real history, or whose experiences somehow count more. I'm tired of that conversation. Because behind all of those arguments are actual people. People who stayed because they genuinely believe. And people who left because for whatever reason they genuinely believed that leaving was the right decision for their lives. So I'm not making this video to convince anyone to come back. I'm not making it to defend every decision the church has ever made. And I'm certainly not making it to tell somebody who left that I understand their experience better than they do. I'm making it because I think there is something that both sides of this conversation desperately need to hear. And I'm going to start with those of you who left. I am an active, believing member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And you do not owe me an explanation for why you left. You don't have to justify it to me. You don't have to convince me that your reasons were good enough. And you sure as hell don't need my permission or my approval. Maybe you left because of doctrine. Maybe you learned things about church history that changed the way you saw your faith. Maybe your experience with the culture of the church hurt you. Or maybe you simply reached a point where you no longer believed. Whatever your reason was, it was your reason. It doesn't have to make sense to me. It doesn't have to be a reason that I would have made the same decision over. It only has to be enough for you. But respect goes both ways. If you left the church, I don't expect you to pretend that you still believe. I don't expect you to stay silent about your experience. And I don't expect you to stop criticizing the church just because that criticism might make me uncomfortable. But there is a difference between criticizing a church you no longer believe in and deliberately disrespecting the people who still do. And if you choose to aim that disrespect at believing members, don't act surprised when one of us calls you out for it. You don't get to mock someone's faith, insult their intelligence, or treat them like they're brainwashed, and then play the victim when they push back. That's not persecution. That's pushback. And to my fellow Latter-day Saints, we're not off the hook either. Someone leaving the church is not a personal attack on you. Their decision does not require your permission, your approval, or even your understanding. And their reasons for leaving don't become less valid just because you disagree with them. Don't interrogate them. Don't turn them into a project. And don't assume they left because they were offended, because they wanted to sin, or because they simply didn't understand the gospel well enough. You don't have to agree with their decision to love them. You don't have to understand their reasons to listen to them. And you don't have to bring them back to church for your relationship with them to still matter. And while we're talking about respect, we need to talk about the pressure we sometimes put on each other inside the church. There isn't one perfect timeline for everybody's life. Not every young man is going to serve a mission at 18. Not everyone is going to get married in their early 20s. Not every couple is going to have children right away. And not everybody's journey through the gospel is going to look exactly like yours. At the end of the day, whether you stayed, whether you left, or whether you're still trying to figure out where you belong, we're still people. We have families. We have experiences. We have reasons for believing what we believe and reasons for questioning what we question. We don't have to agree with each other, but we can stop treating disagreement like a declaration of war. Respect doesn't require agreement. It just requires us to remember that there's a person on the other side. Whether you stayed, whether you left, or whether you're somewhere in between, I hope we can give each other a little more grace. We may not walk the same path, but we can still walk this world with respect for one another. Until next time, I'm Elder Eggy. God bless.